Welcome to your morning drive with Chuck. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. And I'll just say that my weekend, and especially my wife's, has been totally ruined. Make a long story short, this is going to be about how easily your rights can be taken away from you. My wife got into a disagreement with her son and his son's girlfriend, or fiance, whatever you want to call her. I don't really know what she is. But it sort of escalated, and it was really all over the fact that all we were asking this girl to do was be a little bit more of the family, be a little more respectful, and just say thank you for things people were doing for her. We were seeing about getting her car fixed for her. My mother-in-law was paying for it. I had it towed for my AAA. So, I mean, just, nothing major. Well, this whole big fight ensues, and this girl's going off, and she's laying a big guilt trip on my wife about things about, well, I'll just sign the car over to your mother to pay for it. It'll more than cover the cost of the repairs. And and my wife assumed she's going to say, I'll just kill myself. She said, I'm going to beat you to it. I'm tired of this BS. I'll just kill myself. Well, things escalated from there, and it finally got calmed down a little bit. Got him off the phone, and my wife was all upset. So I told her, I said, look, we've been talking about going just for a little drive, so let's do that. Let's go for a drive. Let's just get in the van, go for a drive, enjoy ourselves, see some scenery, because we thought about trying to buy us a little piece of property somewhere to have a little house on, be out of the city, Well, before we get gone, my stepson and his girlfriend roll up on the house. And the funny thing is they roll up in separate cars. I haven't figured that out yet. He's in his car, she's in her car. It's like, what the heck? My wife's like, I'm not going to talk to either one of them. I don't want to talk to either one of them. I'm not going to the door, nothing. So I get up, go to my front door, which I've got one of these big metal security doors. And my stepson's there, and he's trying to get in. I want to see my mom. I want to see my mom. I'm like, she doesn't want to talk to anybody right now. And I said, this ain't coming from me. It's coming from her. I'm not trying to keep you away from her or nothing. She doesn't want this. Well, she screams in the back bedroom. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm not talking to anybody. Well, his fiance, girlfriend, whatever, says something, and that just makes my wife livid. She comes through the house. When she's coming through the house, the girl's going down the walkway, and her and my stepson and then myself proceed to get into this huge argument over the whole situation. And there's a bunch of yelling back and forth, and I tried to get myself calmed down, tried to defuse the situation, and it just wasn't working. And I said to myself, I've asked y'all to leave. I'd asked them repeatedly to leave. I said, please leave. Just leave. Everybody calms down, we'll talk about this. They wouldn't do it. I said, I'm going to have to call, I'll call the police. Well, I didn't know, but his girlfriend around the corner of my house, and she got on the phone all crying and everything, and told the police my wife said she's going to kill herself. So finally, things start diffusing when he figures out his girlfriend's called the police, and he's finally starting to calm down a little bit, and she goes walking up the road before the police ever show up, and my wife's so upset from this. She has some anxiety and depression problems. She started hyperventilating, started throwing up. I physically had to pick her up out of our front walkway, carry her upstairs, put her in a chair, and start calming her down. A woman across the street comes over, try to help calm her down. My mother-in-law shows up. My stepson had called her. We're all trying to get her calmed down. 3 police cruisers show up. Well, they want to know what happened. We're all telling them the story. We're all telling them the whole thing about how, what had happened. And then one of the officers said, well, did she threaten to kill herself? I said, yeah, but it was just as getting this girl back and trying to one-up her. It was just a verbal argument back and forth. There was never no intent. My wife said there was never no intent. I mean, she could barely say that because she was still hyperventilating at the time. Well, they asked for her ID, so I go inside, and one of the officers follows me. I get her ID, and I relate the whole story to him again. I have to do that. Go back outside. The first officer says, well, I've called for an ambulance, and she's having trouble breathing. I'm like, hey, that's fine. We'll get her to the hospital. They can get her calmed down. That'll be great. I appreciate that. So they're all standing around. The ambulance finally comes, and one of the officers takes one of the ambulance guys, tells him what's going on. They get her down the ambulance, load her up. Well, they get her in that ambulance and close the door, and that officer says, oh, yeah, they're going to be keeping her for 12 hours observation. I'm like, what? Well, yeah, since it was said that she was threatening to hurt herself, we're going to have to do that. But she wasn't really doing it. I'm like, okay, it's too late now. And I've since talked to my father-in-law and found out that once somebody says that, and you don't seem quite right, they can forcibly take you. You can't say no. If she said, no, I'm not going, they'd put her in handcuffs, thrown her in the ambulance, and took her to the hospital. So, they get her to the hospital. I go to see what's going on. They won't let me talk to her. They won't let me anywhere near her. And I relate the story to the nurse. I found out my wife related the story to the nurse. And get this, they stripped her down naked, did a body search on her to make sure she didn't have nothing on her, then put her in a paper gown. Paper pants, paper shirt, with the security guard sitting in the room the whole time. Well, then, sometime after midnight, I get a phone call from a lady, says she's a therapist, said come to evaluate my wife, and my wife has said she wants to go to a treatment facility. I'm like, we talking about my wife? She said, yeah, with everything going on and the way she feels, she thinks it'd be better for her. I'm like, my wife? Are you sure? And I related the story to her. Well, yeah, we've talked about that, but she still feels like it would be better to get some help. I still can't talk to my wife. I asked her, I said, when will I be able to? Well, once they get her in a facility, you'll be able to go with their visiting hours. Well, where's she going? Well, we're not sure yet. That has to be evaluated too. I'm like, well, somebody let me know. Oh, yeah, we'll let you. Somebody will call you. 4:30 a.m., I get a call. Now, remember, I live in Knoxville, Tennessee. 4:30, I get a call. It's my wife. She's irate, but she's having to try to stay calm because she's in a mental health facility. So if she gets upset, they're probably going to put her into the little isolation room so she won't hurt herself or anyone else. So, she's telling me what's going on, and they have sent her to Jasper, Tennessee, which, if you don't know where that is, it's about 30 minutes farther than Chattanooga. You go to Chattanooga and go south for 30 minutes. I'm like, why in the hell are you there? She said, I don't know. I said, did you tell that woman that you wanted to be put in here? She said, no, I just told her what happened. And she said, well, I think it'd be best for you to do some time in the facility. I said, how were you at this point? She said, I'd gotten calmed down. They'd give me my medication. I'd gotten calmed down, which is a normal medication she takes for anxiety and pain, which pain medication was 4 hours, let me tell you. So she was probably starting to go through a little bit of withdrawals. Well, sorry, I'm trying to read GPS here. They get her there. Of course, then they strip her, search her again, which did not make her really happy. Well, I'm like, okay, look, I'm on the way down there. Let me throw some things together. There's anything you need, a couple of things you want, throw them together. Get down there, and there's a couple times during the day I can call her, and then one time from 6 to 7 that I can go in to see her. That's it. Now, I can call as often as I want to check on her, but that's not going to do any good. I'm not going to really find out anything. So, I mean, it's just really amazing how easily she lost her rights. Now, once she got down there, she talked to the doctor, and she talked to the clinical psychologist. They both believe her and says that, well, you probably don't really need to be here. But the law says they can keep her for 3 days. So what do? They're keeping her for 3 days. Today's Sunday. She ain't getting out till tomorrow. So, she's been in a facility that's co-ed with people that have threatened to hurt themselves, tried to kill themselves, have mental disabilities, Alzheimer's. One poor gentleman has some kind of terrible rage problem. They keep him so medicated, he walks around like a zombie. And I'm like, why is my wife in this? She's in more danger in this facility than she would be at home. Well, we'll go on to the facility and what's going on there later, but look what this has done to my family just because one person said, oh, she said she's going to kill herself, and because when the police arrived she was distraught where she'd been in an argument with her son, she gets all of her rights took away from her, and it's perfectly legal. She's in there under a medical certificate, so until they release her, she cannot leave. And now just think about the impact on my family. I'll be basically losing 2 days worth of work. To help keep her calm and feeling better, I've had to stay down here. So that's for 3 nights, that's about $300. You look at my lost wages, I've had to eat while I'm down here. I didn't think I was going to be down here this long because I didn't realize how this process worked. So I've actually had to spend some money on some clothes, buy some soap, because I don't like the soaps in the motel. That's, a buck or two, that's no big deal. But still, I'm looking at this whole deal over somebody saying, oh, she's suicidal, has cost me $1,000. $1,000 between motel, lost wages, paying for food, having to buy some clothes. Had to take her some clothes. The place is like a refrigerator, so I had to go buy her a sweatshirt and a pair of sweatpants and a pair of fuzzy slippers to wear. Of course, nothing can have strings or anything where they can hurt themselves. Had to take the string off the little hoodie I got her off so she couldn't choke herself. But it's just absolutely ridiculous how easy you can lose your rights. Before jokingly, this is my thing to everybody tell you, before you jokingly say, oh, I'm just going to kill myself, I'll be better off dead. Don't say it where nobody can hear you. Because all it takes is that one phone call. One angry person saying, hey, she said she's going to kill herself. I don't care what the person's motives was, whether it's good or bad, whether you're joking or not, it's all up to them. Once they take you, and get this, when she's in the hospital, she didn't even meet the therapist there. They set a little TV screen in front of her with the camera, so she's looking at the woman's face, and the woman's looking at her on camera. She is evaluated through a TV screen. The woman was in Nashville. There wasn't anybody there to even evaluate her in person. I mean, like I said, this situation is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my entire life. My wife has anxiety problems, depression problems. I am what keeps her calm. I cannot be near her. I can't be at the facility unless it is visiting time. 1 hour a day during the week, 2 hours a day on weekends. I mean, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. But everybody think about this, how easy it is to lose your rights in supposedly the most free nation in the world. Because of one phone call. I mean, if she just called the police because of the argument and everything, it'd been fine. They'd come, we'd already calmed down, they'd checked on the situation, they'd left. No big deal. But because she said, oh, she said she's going to kill herself, my wife's incarcerated. I mean, this place is really nothing more than a jail with nurses as guards. To go in and see my wife, I cannot have anything on me. I can't carry my billfold in, cell phone, anything in my pockets. The only thing I've taken in is the glasses I wear to see with, to read or anything. I've worn them in. If I have keys, I have to leave them with them. I mean, they don't even check my ID when I go in there. As long as I know my wife's code number, which you have to know this 4-digit code number, or they won't even admit that she is there. So, like I say, I've never seen a more ridiculous situation in my entire life. I mean, my wife is not a happy camper with this situation and the fact that her rights were stripped from her so easy. And then to find out they believe her story. This was told to her yesterday, which was Saturday. After she got there really early Friday morning, spent the whole day there Friday, when she was terrified being in that place. Yesterday, my in-laws, her parents, come up to see her. We was in there for 2 hours. I actually talked to the clinical therapist, and she told me, we believe her story, but it's up to the doctor. Well, she didn't see the doctor again last night until after I'd left, but she's able to call me. They had one more call time last night, so she's able to call me and told me the doctor said, oh, I believe your story, but we're going to have to keep you to Monday. And the only reason that is, I'll tell you the only reason that is right now. The law says if they can't find nothing wrong with them, they can't observe them for 3 days. He's going to get his money for having her in there for 3 days. For somebody that they've acknowledged doesn't need to be in there. That it was a mistake. They don't even know why the hospital sent her. All revolves around this. Is she going through any kind of therapy while she's there? When I called, the woman told me, oh, she'll be a different person when she leaves. Oh, yeah, she's going to be a different person, all right, because I don't care what it takes. Even if she was ever decided that she was going to do something to herself, do you think she'd say anything? Wind up in a place like that again? But I'll do another video on exactly how everything went while she's in the facility. But this whole thing is about how easy your rights can get stripped away. Think about that in the situation my poor wife's had to go through, what it's cost our family for her to have to be here. And there's no facilities in Knoxville, apparently. I take that back. There is facilities in Knoxville, but for the insurance I have Aetna and she has Medicare. So she has my insurance and the Medicare. Nobody in Knoxville takes that. Think about that. If you got Aetna or Medicare and you get put into a mental facility for any reason, you won't be in Knoxville. You'll be maybe in Johnson City, most likely in Jasper, Tennessee, or somewhere at least 2 hours away from your home and your family and your loved ones. That's something that needs to change in Knoxville. I mean, while I've been out there, well, let's see, since we've been out here, my wife told me last night, there's been 5 more people show up from Knoxville to a facility 2.5 hours away. And most likely it's because of insurance. Once again, no rights. No rights. You don't have no, you know, if you go to the hospital, you can say, oh yeah, this hospital right next door to my house, but hey, I want to go to this one 10 miles away. They'll take you to the one 10 miles away. Mental deals? Nope. It's all about insurance. All about this. All about that money. But people think about what you say. Everybody have a good day.